Hi, let's start on our backs. We're going to do some initiating from our fingertips. So go ahead and start rubbing your fingertips together, your thumbs and over fingertips, just to wake them up and start to do some little handy things here. You can be on your backs as you're doing this, playing with your hands, looking at your hands. And then start by manipulating your pinky little joint, second joint, the next joint, and then trace that all the way down into your wrist. And then we'll get some range of motion in that finger all the way into the wrist. And then feel that bone moving into your wrist, into the other. Next finger, so your little ring finger on your right hand. And then the next joint, play with that. And then the next joint, and then take it all the way down into through your hand, trace that bone, and then feel that bone moving into your wrist. Bone, finger all the way into that bone, into the wrist. Some action in your joint. And then the middle finger. You don't have to be on your back for this either. Just take all the three joints, the top joint, play with that individually, the second joint, the next joint, roll it around, trace the bone down and find action of the bone into the wrist. So I'm just using my carpal bone, my metacarpal bone here, and the bone of my hand into my carpal, which is the bones of the wrist there. Good. Index finger. First top joint, second joint. You'll feel the difference between the two. They both are independent. And then the next one, which is way more large, movement-wise for me. And then trace that bone down, that metacarpal, all the way into the wrist. Roll that around, thumb, different kind of scenario with the thumb. Bone, two bones, and then you've got your thumb bone, and it kind of goes across. That's the opposable nature of the thumb. So play with that, and then play with your hand, the wrist, and then trace the finger up the middle between your two forearm bones, and then roll your forearm bones around a little bit. There's a fascial web in there. You can actually find those sore points sort of right between the bones. I know we went right in there, and I can move my bones around, opening up, and then pull all that energy out, throw it to a light, shake your arm, shake your hand, let it go. Just let it really just up all the way around. And then just let it rest and see how that feels on that whole arm. Nice. Let's do the other side. Starting with your pinky. Just one, the top joint, second joint, third joint, metacarpal bone into the carpal, into the wrist. Play with that. There's way more to play with if you want to get lost and play with yourself in that way. Go right ahead. And then ring finger bone, top bone. How much mobility you have there. If, you might have as much, or maybe you might have more than me. And second bone, third bone, and then trace from that bone all the way into your metacarpal, into your wrist. Just feeling how fingers lead into the wrist, and then the middle finger, top bone, and then the second joint there. Just wave, cool. Third, trace that metacarpal all the way into your carpal, into the wrist. That feels like all the way to the center of your elbow. I can feel that on that side. Nice, I like that feeling. And then index finger. Next joint. Third joint. Trace that metacarpal bone. See it on your hands. It's a tendon, but find the bone there into the hand bones, into the wrist bones. carpals. Going all the way up to the thumb. First joint of the thumb. How much movement do you have there? Some will have way more loose, stretchy ligaments there, others will not. And then play there. Opposable thumb, a lot of circumduction, lots of circular action. Trace that bone into your wrist. Play. We're playing, we're not hurting. And then find that. Some interesting stuff there. Take the web between your two forearm bones. Start to rotate those forearm bones around that web. Getting into some of that fascia. Find your spots. Connect your hand up into the elbow. The good antidote to lots of keyboarding and things like that. And then shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Get high. Diagonal. Down. And then good. And let it be there. And then go ahead and shake them both out. All the way around. And a little bit more freedom now. In hopefully your shoulders and your neck and your hands. So you just really let go of some stuff there. Great, take the legs wide. Rotate your right foot out, left foot in. Hands and L's, inhale, exhale, bend your front leg. Inhale up and then exhale, slide and glide over. Inhale up, just take care of the hips a little bit here, bend, exhale. Inhale up and slide and glide over. Keep repeating, just nice and gentle here. Taking time to breathe in. If you're wearing your essential oil today from the meditation, let that scent nourish you. Let that scent feed you, enliven you. And then go ahead and stay over in mini Trikonasana. Keep that top arm, which is the right arm, inhale up to the sky, little up, turn the palm down. I'm starting to feel now my fingertips initiating. Fingertips, go fingertips, hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm bone, and then take it over. And then the fingertips rotate the other way to bring your arm back down. Fingertips, take it over. So my fingertips are starting the spiral in my arm. It goes up to my humerus, my upper arm bone, and then I move my arm from there because of my fingertips spiraling. So the movement of my arm is coming from my fingertips spiraling. Let's do that one more time. So I'm taking my arm over the head, and then my fingertips roll, spiral the other way. Now my palm is facing downward, my fingertips pointing towards the wall, and then inhale. From my fingertips of my right hand, pull my body up. And then release the arm down. Bring the feet together, stand. Take a moment and just feel. Just notice the amount of space you have on one side. Connection. Legs wide again. Rotate your left foot out, right foot in. L's in the hip creases. Inhale. Exhale, bend that front leg. Inhale up. And then exhale, slide and glide over to a baby, into triangle pose legs. Inhale up. Feeling that sense, experiencing that sense of fragrance, the juice, the rasa, the juiciness of life. It's blooming. Got my shirt with flowers and blooming, says, think happy, be happy. Oddly enough, when I wear this shirt, I feel more happy. It's one of those shirts that I got as a present, and I wasn't sure it was going to work for me, but it actually really does. Taking it over into your half triangle. Left arm now, which is your top arm, out to the side, palm facing down. Use from the fingertips, spiraling the fingertips away. So I'm going to move my fingertips open. So my palms will be towards the ceiling. So fingertips, palm, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm bone. And as my upper arm bone spins in the socket, my arm goes over my head. And then my fingertips the other direction. So fingertips, hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm bone. And as my arm bone rotates in the socket, my hand comes back down, pointing to the side. So just keep repeating that from the initiation of the fingertips. If it's too much effort in your body to stay over in a half triangle pose, you can do this arm position while you're standing, or you can be resting your right hand on a chair or a block. I'm not even going all the way over into my hand getting to the floor in triangle, because it's really not the focus. The focus is more of the spiraling of your fingertips all the way up to your upper arm bone, leading from that spiral, the movement of the arm. Okay, the next time your hand is down, pointing towards the wall, palm down, inhale from your left fingertips to bring the body up, and then release the arm down, walk the feet together, stand. Close eyes and feel how much more space you may have in your chest, your heart, your back, your arms, prana in the head, still some spaciousness, and maybe some other places too in the body. So let's take the legs wide once again. Rotate your right foot out, left foot in. Bend your right leg. Inhale. This time, that arm comes up. So whatever leg is bent, that's the arm that's coming up. And then exhale, come back down. And then inhale, other arm, the leg that's straight to the back, comes up and over the head. And from the fingertips spiraling, can you find the movement of the arms? So my fingertips spiral as I come into reverse warrior. My fingertips spiral to bring me back to center. My fingertips spiral with the other hand to take my body over into side angle. My fingertips spiral to bring me back to center. Fingertips spiral. Can I find that connection? It may be new, it may be mysterious, or it might be very accessible or freeing. Who knows? One more time. And this time when you end up in side angle, stay there, feeling that spiral of the fingertips. So as my fingertips are spiraling all the way up into my shoulder, you can spiral in either direction. Just play here a little bit with this. How, if you keep spiraling your fingertips one way, what does that do to your upper arm bone in your shoulder? You spiral the other way, what does that do to your upper arm bone in your shoulder? And can you start to spiral so you're not moving your shoulder blades so much? So it's really just about what's happening in your upper